Hey, hello everyone! I know the cams are all over the place, but they are going to be fixed momentarily. I am Simon at Wandering DM, and welcome to our Scion second edition game. Um, why can't I move people in the right places? No, that doesn't. Yay, everyone's at least in the right place. So, as I said, I'm Wandering the M. I use he, him pronouns. I'll let the players introduce themselves before I do any of the spiels, just so that I can fix the cams in the meantime. So please, new overlay means new order of introductions. We'll begin with the person to my right on the overlay, which is now Eddie.
Oh, that is different. Hey everyone, my name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, the very quiet and very subtle Eddie Kahele, son or scion of the Monkey King.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I broke stuff. Did I break stuff? I think I broke stuff.
It just shifted here and there a little bit.
A little broken.
Okay. Up next, we have Kieran.
Hello, I am Hannah, Animation Art, and I use she, her pronouns. And in this campaign, I play Kieran Kearney, Scion of Loki, who uses he, him pronouns.
And up next on the overlay, we have Lynn, or D, I should say.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Lynn Flanksters, she, her, and I am playing Dee Higa, also she, her, daughter of Inari.
And last but not least, we have Finbar.
Hey, I'm Robert, otherwise known as Hawkeye or Kentucky Hawkeye. I am playing Finbar O'Dugda, Celtic and Irish history lore professor by day, but by other times, I am the scion of Ogma, one of the Celtic pantheon.
And as every stream that we do this month on the channel, we are raising money for races. The links are in the chat. They will appear over time as we play today. But it is October is Anino's birth month, and throughout the month of October, the streams that we do raise money for the charity that Anino has chosen, which is Races. So you can go and donate. We will have a big like special stream tomorrow, the horror twofer, where we're going to play horror games, and at the same time we're going to keep raising money. We're going to have some giveaways. There are already some. When we reach certain milestones, you can check them out with the link in chat. Without further ado, who would like to recap what happened last time on Scion? Please, I still need to fix cameras, guys.
We went to a tiny port isle in Ireland in order to get to our destination, which is not marked on any map, and we made some new friends.
We made some new friends. We booked a voyage on a ship. We went to go get parts to help speed the process up. And we put a poor, suffering sea craft to rest.
We were very respectful.
Yes, it was a very respectful manner, very subtle, very, quiet and without any fanfare, which made it so that Eddie was now fate-bound to the owner of said craft, who's now his nemesis. A man that goes by the name of Old Madigan. He was one of the two fishermen who still had a craft anchored in the harbor in Portaclay Beach. And, of course, now there's only one who has a has a ship that is seaworthy, Mr. Will O'Malley, who is the nephew of the owner of the town's bed and breakfast, which is also probably one of the two public buildings in this place, aside from the pub. And you've agreed to help Mr. O'Malley bring you to this island, the island of Ibrasil. We're gonna pick back up right there. The boat had been destroyed. I am not on roll 20. I was wondering why there was no music. So, Madigan's trawler has just been wrecked. And O'Malley's one is in the process of being repaired. So what we'll skip just a bit until we've successfully repaired the ship, and Mr. Madigan has stormed off the docks. Last thing you heard him say is that he was gonna have a few friendly words with O'Malley as he was heading into town. By that time, of course, Eddie, you've managed to reach the rest of the group that were on the pier. JD followed along, though not as fast as you are, seeing how you have powers that he doesn't. So you'll get there first. For all intents and purposes, JD will arrive at some point. Kieran D and Finbar were still on the dock, watching this poor craft sink to the depth of the ocean.
And he's just going to walk up and examine his handiwork. Say, I'm sorry, is no one going to play like a funeral dirge or something for this ship?
I reach into my jacket and pull out a penny whistle and start playing some sort of O'Carolan concerto thing that would be appropriate for the occasion.
I only have a kazoo version of like fra 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 fra, but like imagine it's better than that. The ship is barely visible at the moment. Only like the prow of it is still sticking out of the water, and you notice it's not really going any deeper. It probably hit the bottom, and so forevermore there's this sort of like medium-sized triangle that will jut out of the sea. The last,
the masthead has become the headstone.
Definitely. And then you hear from a distance a loud bang. Not a gunshot.
Oh, thank God.
As you look into town, you see that Madigan has come out of the pub, slammed the door so hard that it broke off its hinges, and is storming in the direction of what is probably the next town over, which is like 50 miles away. But he's going for a walk. And a couple seconds later, O'Malley comes out, and he's holding his face. There's like a white cloth in his hand, and he's just like holding on to the like threshold of the door, holding this like piece of white tissue against his face. He doesn't seem to have taken note of you. Probably a bit dazed.
I think it's just Dee sees that. She's gonna like just kind of like rush over to him. It's like, what happened? Just like, all right, let me take a look. Is there anything broken? So how's your jaw? Keep.
Bloody arsehole. Madigan and he removes the like tissue as he says that, And you can see, like, not only a fat lip, but, like, he lost 2 teeth, and he's bleeding profusely from the mouth. It doesn't seem, he's not in any mortal danger. But he's taken, like, in game terms, it's like Madigan rolled a crit. So it's not just a punch of a, he was an old man, well, still is an old man, but he was a fit old man, Madigan. He probably packs a mean right hook. Which
all those years pulling up nets has gotten some good arm
Yeah,
strength.
that's good. It's good to know. It's good to know that he has a good punch.
Yeah, I mean, he's still human, so it's to you it probably wouldn't do much.
You know what? I'm going to just. All right. Why don't we just have I have a kit. Like, should at least sterilize that until you have the teeth, right?
My teeth.
How does it look? Oh god. Oh. All right. Inside. Okay. I'll get something.
Yeah, when you go back inside, you would see the what was her name again? Aoife. Aoife has a shot glass in which there are 2 teeth.
All right.
And she is setting it down on the table as you enter.
Can I have a two glasses of water, and then if you have any just strongest thing you have, just so you can swish that around.
Barkeep nods, says aye.
All right.
And is going to, like, bring you everything that you need. You speak like someone who knows what they're doing, so he defers to you.
Yeah. So I'll sit him down and just like, okay, like, just open up and just like make sure he didn't, like, crack his jaw. Like, there's not like any anything worse than like the loose teeth. And I was like, okay,
It's
we
loose
just
teeth, and you realize the way they broke.
Yeah.
The like the root of one of the tooths.
Oh no.
Broke the skin of the gums, and that's why he's just like bleeding over and over.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna take a look. Just this happened pretty soon after, so I'm gonna ask you just hold the teeth down, just put them back in their place, and just hold it down for a little bit. It's like if it's happened, good thing it happened soon enough.
Back.
Maybe if I sew them, if you hold them in, maybe they'll take root again, and there's still enough root left in there. Just I have some stuff.
He like places them back, and like the moment he gets his fingers out of his mouth, like they're dripping with blood. Well, diluted, but still blood. He's like, all right, now what?
All right, she's gonna take out, like, she has a like one of those, like, cold sore, like, relief things, and she's gonna just put on a Q-tip and just like, all right, this is some temporary cement. It's gonna hold on there. It's gonna sting, but you need to hold it in there.
I'm a tough guy. Go ahead, do your work.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Just don't move. You can cry. You can like yell all you want. It's just don't move your hand. And I'm gonna use, like, this is my fault. I'm gonna use a healing hand on him just to like make sure his teeth. Like.
Sure.
Like, I know why, man. I know why. Why old man like took a swing at him. It's because.
Yeah, it's going to be magical. I mean, you're going to bring him back completely. And you regain a point of legend.
Right. Can I lie to him and just say, okay, it wasn't that bad. It was just a little bit of a... wasn't the entire tooth. It was just like, there's enough left so I could just like cement that thing back in, but just take it easy on that side. don't chew on it. Don't put any pressure on it. Just leave it the way it is. You're gonna have to chew on the other side for a good couple days. Let that sit in, and then definitely make that trip to the dentist just to make sure.
Dentist. Yeah, I think I can swing around on my off day. It's about 4 hours away. They don't do on call anymore. I'll be good. How about my ship? Did you get it? Did you get it fixed? Did Madigan screw something with it?
No, I think he was just upset. His something. I don't know. I think something happened to his ship, and maybe he thought that you did something to it. I mean, I saw the whole thing just sank. I think something just fell out of the sky and just.
Aoife, who's been watching the scene, says, "This boat, it should have sunk years ago. It barely held by, well, I would say duct tape and hope, but knowing it's Madigan, it was probably duct tape and pure seething hatred."
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it. Maybe it's don't tell him, but I'm sure it's probably for the best. But I think if he went out in that thing again, I don't know if he would have come back.
Well, that would be for the best. O'Malley sits down during that time, and says, do you mind if we leave in a couple of hours or maybe tomorrow? I don't feel very well. Oh, the ears are still ringing.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, that sounds. I'll look at the others. That sound good?
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
Rest up, get all the marbles back in the right spots, and then we'll be ready to go.
Aoife will offer you free lodging at the B&B. I mean, for what you've done. While Eddie is apparently transformed into a cat. But yeah, so you'll have free lodging if there isn't anything specific that you would like to, like a scene you would like to have before tomorrow, either between yourselves or with the people of Port-au-Clay Beach, we'll skip over. After your eggs and blood sausage breakfast.
Only the finest.
The finest, and it's good actually. She's a very decent cook. It shows that she hasn't hosted anyone at the B&B in a while because there's not a whole lot of food. There's no use in stockpiling in the tourist off season. But by about 8:30 a.m. You are out and about. You can see down by the docks. So, of course, the way Port-au-Clay Beach, just to remind everyone, is sort of built like a horseshoe around this little bay area. The bay being much lower than the rest of the terrain around it. So everyone, almost all the time, you can just look and see the pier. And right now, you can almost make out O'Malley and his trolley. But the boat has been started. The engine is running. There's a bit of steam coming out of the exhaust pipe. So for what you know, seems like your hardware and all of your work was successful. And the ship is seaworthy.
All right, let's go see what we can find on this island.
Let me change the music. As you leave,
There we
The sea is rather calm. The sky is gray. There's a chill wind. Otherwise, you know, the trolley rocks left to right, up and down, coasting along the waves, which brings me to a question. Do all of you have worthy sea legs, or is anyone seasick?
Let's make a check. Let's see.
Yeah, let's do a check
I'll leave
for
it.
that.
I'll leave it at this. Like, I don't know.
I would imagine Finbar, having grown up near this area, closer to like Sligo and all that, but still, he's probably been on a boat a time or two.
Okay. For the others, if you want to roll it, I'll say, give me, it's gonna be basic check, but give me stamina plus survival. So long as you have one success, you're fine. Ooh,
Finbar will roll because it's probably been
Okay.
a little while. It's been a while
Okay.
since he's been on a ship, but he still remembers.
So with a 3 success, 1 success, yeah. Eddie, do you have sea legs?
I feel like Eddie's epic stamina would keep him from getting seasick.
Oh, you have epic stam? Yeah, no, you're fine. That's not gonna happen. O'Malley will remark how at ease you are on a ship. Normally, you know, well, this isn't a very... Those aren't stormy waters, but, you know, visitors often, they ask me to turn the boat around after a couple of minutes only. So, that island. I checked all the maps, even the ones that my pa left me, way back when, and it really doesn't appear anywhere. Are you sure it's not just a collection of rocks?
Based on the satellite images that we had at that we were able to download at the university, it's real. It's there. It just probably has not been seen because of weather or other than, but newer technologies have revealed that it is actually there.
Because I would hate to run aground. You know, that would be costly, you know. And also very dangerous.
Yes, of course.
Well, we got a couple
We wouldn't
of
want to
hours.
put you in any danger.
I hope so. I mean, you just got her back in working order. I don't want to lose her. And he taps the side of the ship. It's like, I'm gonna go back in. If you need anything, let me know. I'll be in the cabin.
Will do.
The trip will take about 4 hours. The first 2 are just quiet, uneventful. You pass a few seagulls in the sky, nothing more. At the end of the second hour, you can see off portside, there's a about maybe a mile away, but there's another fishing vessel. They look stationary, probably, you know, hoisting up nets on their other side, which you can't really see. But they're the only other sign of life, of human life, I should say, that you will encounter up until you reach the island. The third hour, the sky begins to darken a little. And at that point, you notice, if you look back upon Ireland, that the Eye of Baelor is no longer in the sky. The clouds over Ireland are just, you know, gray, maybe a little dark, like the ones here. Storms probably brewing. By the end of the fourth hour, O'Malley comes to see you roughly every 15 minutes, asking, well, so where's that island? Where's that island? Are we supposed to be here?
We should be approaching it shortly, according to the charts that we showed you.
It's completely void of any. The sea is completely void of any landmarks. The sky is turned, angry dark. You can smell the ozone in the air, and you can sort of hear the low rumble of clouds. And it's about that time when you notice in the distance a collection of stones. It wasn't there earlier. It looks roughly to be maybe 20, 30 feet across. And then it looks to be 50, 60 feet across. And then it looks to be about 100 feet across, and you get the impression that it's rising from the depths. The island is getting closer, but you are not sailing towards the island. It's either rising or it is moving.
Instruct the captain of the ship to cut the engines to see, so we can see if it's moving, the island's actually moving, or if it's just rising.
Wait, what are you going on about the islands moving?
Something seems a little bit strange. Just hold our position here for just a moment.
He cuts off the engines. The island is indeed rising. And after about 15 minutes, the shoreline of that island is just a couple of yards away from the trolley. Trawler. Jesus. And you notice amidst this sort of layer of fog that has begun to form around the island, there is a light up maybe 50 feet, 50, 60 feet up, on a 5th or 6th floor.
Almost like a lighthouse, but not quite.
Looks like a lighthouse. It's not sweeping, it's just there. It would have been easy to see it before, but it seems that it never appeared until you were very, very close to the island, or in this case, the island was very close to you. As far as you're concerned, Finbar, this is magic. The island is magical. The entire phenomena around it is magical. The fog is magic. The light is magic. This entire place is seeped in magic.
Can I reach out with one of my purviews?
Yes. Which one is it?
Journeys. I can sense the presence of an Axis Mundi or other gate between realms of existence from 2 miles away. So I want to see if I sense that in this case.
That light in the sky is a doorway. The island is an Axis Mundi. So if...
Okay, well, this is definitely it.
I think we found our place.
As the island rose, well, just as the island rose, so do numerous reefs that begin to surround you. And you can see broken down ships from various eras. Sailing vessels, Drakars. There's even a German U-boat that have all ran aground on these reefs that weren't there a few minutes ago. You are basically in a sort of a lagoon surrounded by these reefs, the island on the other side. O'Malley's ship is just floating, bobbing on the water. Nothing more. He comes out of the cabin. A little confused. He's holding his hat in his hands, and scratching his head. Am I drunk? Or wasn't this... None of this was there earlier. Was it?
You are right on the second part. It was not here before, but it is now, as we thought it would be.
Huh. That's, it's a little strange. But, okay.
What I would warn you is prepare for things to possibly get stranger. Just be ready.
Oh, what should I be ready for?
This is going to sound vague, but it's not meant to be, but practically be ready for just about anything to happen. Especially it's something that you wouldn't believe unless you were seeing it yourself.
Alright. He,
Imagine you're watching the History Channel Friday or Saturday nights late at night.
So, aliens?
Not quite that far.
He will...
But it may seem alien to you.
As he's talking, he takes a few steps towards the cabin and, like, reaches inside the wall. You can hear, like, a click of, like, probably, like, metal, like, switches or pins or something that he's flicking. And then when his arm comes back out, you see he's holding in his hand a small revolver, like a .38. And he looks at the magazine to make sure that it's loaded, closes it, and puts it in his coat pocket. Normally I just keep it in case well, sometimes I have visitors, you know, flying rats. I have to scare them away, and I found that the sound of gunshot is good enough to make them leave and never come back, but I'm thinking that it might be more than seagulls this time. Y'all are grave looking.
I am hopeful that you'll have nothing more than seagulls.
Well, I would really like it if this place didn't turn into my grave. And as he says that, Kieran, you cannot help yourself but feel this shiver run down your spine.
That's the hope all around. We hope none of us will see our end here, but not to worry.
All right. Yep.
Things aren't that grave. Look. Dee is smiling, and Eddie is going to push Dee's lips up on the corners.
You see her eye dot? It's like the eyes are like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Look, I can bring you closer. I don't know just how close. With all those reefs that showed up out of nowhere, I don't really want to move.
Oh yeah, let's not bring the boat any closer.
Let's not run the risk. We can take it. We can get there from here.
Maybe we should take this as a warning that Here is good.
All right, I have a
Oh,
small
no, no.
inflatable raft.
No, that won't be necessary. I'll get us all over there. And, yeah.
He makes that face.
No, he totally goes. All right, and he rubs his hands together. Goes, all right, Kieran, you're up. Alley oop time. And he puts his both hands together like this and down. Come on.
I'll move to the side as a spotter.
Just, so long as it's a soft landing or whatever, I don't know what you're gonna do here. He'll step up onto the hands offered.
Yeah, just tuck and roll as he then catapults Kieran onto the shore.
What are you? What? Are you crazy, mate? And Kieran just goes flying. I have a question, Eddie.
Fine.
You okay?
Well, I have a question for Eddie.
Oh.
You can do so without any checks if you leave it up to the person to stick the landing or not. Or if you want to throw them in such a fashion that you are sure that they will land properly and not hurt themselves, you will need to roll instead of them.
I think that Eddie will be kind enough to try to launch them in such a way that they don't go twisting and somersaulting through the air.
You got
Like he's going to try to lawn dart launch them as opposed to just, like Donkey Kong barrel throw them.
All right, then I will ask you for a... They're fairly far. Well, the island's fairly far away. Let's go with Dex. So we'll do Dex and Athletics. You need 1 success per person. So if you get 3 successes, everyone makes it just fine. I believe the momentum.
Oh boy, you
pool
guys
was
are in trouble.
We get to roll with.
You've got 3 points of
You
momentum.
guys are
It'll
in
be
so
back
much
on the
trouble.
overlay.
Hey.
after break.
Be careful with me, please.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
4
thank God.
successes.
All right. Yeah. We all
Everyone's fine. Let's say you and no, JD included.
JD. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
yeah.
maybe JD was coaching me on the throws. He's like my pitching coach now.
After what you've done to Madigan's boat with the stone, JD's like, I have taught you all I can. But that's a great arc. That's oh, you're picking me up now. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And when you're the last one left on the boat, you realize O'Malley is now holding on to the other side of his trawler, looking at you. He is white in the face, scared shitless. And we're like, you're not, I'm not. I'm saying, Captain stays with the ship, Captain stays with the ship.
Oh, I wasn't gonna throw you. You need to stay here. It'll be safer for you here, actually.
What are you? You can't.
I'm just.
You throw people.
I do. I also cook really good omelets. And at that, he's going to basically Incredible Hulk jump from the ship onto the shore.
For those of you on the shore already, I'll go with well, Eddie, give me the order in which you threw people.
Finbar would have stayed. Would have been the last one to go. He would have made sure that the ladies got there safely first.
Kieran's first because he's the guinea pig.
So when,
The adjustment,
yeah,
To make sure Lynn gets there,
yeah.
landed there safely.
Okay.
Spotting the
So-
liftoff. So
I will ask a strange check out of people.
All right. I'll put that
Let me see if I can. I don't think the sheet will allow for it. Yeah, no. So you're gonna have to roll manually. But basically, I would like each of you to roll presence plus legend. Except that the first person that got on the island will have 2 bonus dice. The second person will have 1. The third person will have 0. And Eddie doesn't get to roll.
So that would be 1d10 plus the number of dots we have in presence plus the number of dots we have in legend.
No, it would be a number of d10s equal to the dots you have in presence plus the dots you have
Right.
in
I'm
legend.
sorry. I'm thinking about The
Yeah,
Witcher.
like Witcher. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you can roll 1. You'll never have more than 1 success in this case. And I am looking for, it's a difficulty of 2, so anyone who rolls 2 successes and above. Oh, no, that's okay. Then we just need to check. You've got a 9, so you only have 1. What about D? D has 2, alright. And how about Finbar? Finbar has none. So it's only D. Once you're on the island, you... So, as far as Kieran and Finbar are concerned, it's an island. It's rocky, there's, you know, bird poop everywhere, there's, what you call them, the little things that cling to... barnacles.
Yeah.
There are a few barnacles, there's moss, algae, and for D specifically, a shit ton of dead people. You see them translucent. That sort of fog, that layer of fog around the island is just so many dead people. Some are standing on the ground, some are floating just around the island like a giant whirlpool. They're all translucent.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough to say that you that you could mistake one for an actual person. Like they're that see-through. None of them seem to see you at all, or be aware that there are people. Like some will float right through you guys, and there's no one feels anything. They don't seem to feel anything. But yeah, you realize that this place, you're aware of its nature, and apparently because of 2 successes, it is aware of you.
I think that it's a case of when when Annie throws her, she's like, okay, Karen's like, oh, good, we think we. Oh. Oh, okay.
And
She's not move. She gets up to recover and then just like freezes up. It's like, oh, that's a lot of
A lot of what?
You're good.
Wait, you don't see.
by the time
Seal.
Eddie will land, all of these dead people will disappear.
Oh, okay. That was. We were looking for a doorway to. Yeah, this is. I think we're on the right path. I just saw. You didn't see anything.
Just
A lot of
rocks and
rocks.
barnacles.
Okay, I don't know what. Maybe I just didn't get sleep. There are a lot of dead people just sitting, standing, floating around, passing through. She'll point at and Karen's like, it just passed through you like a second ago. Now they're gone.
Oh, what do you mean it passed through me? Is it inside me now?
No, it just like you weren't there, or it wasn't there.
Don't
The
like
fog
that.
dissipates.
Well, I think if we're thinking about if we're on the right, we are definitely on the right island, I think. And I hope that they are not hostile in any way, because there were a lot of them. 'Cause I don't know if you can punch ghosts.
Hopefully we don't have to get. Hopefully we don't get to that point. We don't have any qualm with them, as far as we know yet.
No. All right, that was ominous. Okay, what do we do now?
Well,
My
now that the
focus-
fog is lifted, you see a lighthouse. White limestone. There's a door. Well, it's small because it's in the distance, right? But you can see the door, which is probably a very impressive, massive door. There is one window about halfway up. It's like a semi-circle. Barred with like an iron cross over it. The masonry around the window looks like a Celtic knot. And then, of course, at the top you have like this little like catwalk with where the light should be. You notice that it's very dim. As much as you could see it through the fog earlier, now that you're on the island, it's like faded light. Like a light bulb that was just, I don't know, 20 watts at best. It's barely perceptible against the daylight sky, even though the sky is fairly dark. And the ground is uneven. There are no paths. There are no roads. It's just stone and barnacles and algae.
Methinks that lighthouse is the first place we're going to need to go, at least to start.
Even if it is a lighthouse. I mean, if this is a magic island, shouldn't need something to tell people not to crash into it, right?
True. Unless you're using it to attract people to make it crash in case you're trying to gather.
You know what? That makes me feel a lot better about this lighthouse. Thank you. Thank you.
Whatever. Oh, for all we know, there's probably just some old crusty guy in a black turtleneck writing bad poetry about his lonely existence.
Yeah.
Well, let's go pay him a visit.
So Eddie's going to use his journeys purview to pick out the safest route up to the lighthouse, but he's also going to draw his weapon, the three-sectional staff that he's now calling the Rule of Three, and he's just going to rest it over his shoulder as he's leading the way.
And Finbar will use his wild purview to try to help find the safest path through all these rocks and all that as well, so we don't turn our ankles.
And my cat really, really wants me to pay attention. So you make your way towards the lighthouse. The safest path, oddly enough, is not a straight line. You meander on the island and almost circumvent the entire lighthouse as Eddie and Finbar's powers help guide your steps. Along the way, especially as you get closer to the island, you begin to see in the stone, almost like they were fossils, human bones, skeletons. Most of them sort of fused with the rock. None of them appear to be in a position of restful sleep. For the most part, the way they're placed, even if you just look at, it's a skull, it doesn't have any emotions. but just looking at them, you can feel despair and suffering.
Cool.
Are these normal sized human bones?
Yes, for the most part. From time to time, you will see one that's quite larger. Not like Fomorian, necessarily, not a giant, but someone who was definitely, 8 or 9 feet tall. Probably some would-be hero from times gone by. None of them, of course, have any clothing, items, objects. It's just the bones.
Just the bones.
And like I said, they look like how'd you call that? Anemones, I think, in stone. So
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
nothing juts out. Nothing could be like pulled out of it. Eventually, you approach the lighthouse enough that you see the door. It's a massive oak door, strengthened by these metal, like planks, if you will, that have been like riveted onto the door. They make out some sort of symbol. Finbar, because of your, I think you can speak just about any language, right?
Yeah, with the PDA
Yeah.
thing that my father gave me.
The PDA will beep, and when you pick it up, you see a. So of course it's that the Ogma's game, like the Bard's Tale type of thing.
Right.
So it's like an 8-bit 16-bit version of the island where you are, and in front of the imagery of the lighthouse, there's a little wooden sign that says, "Abandon all hope, ye who venture here." You get the feeling that's what's written on onto the door of the lighthouse itself. And the door opens, and the lighthouse keeper comes out, dressed in a mix of old tartan, like the kilt with the
And the sash and everything.
and the sash and everything, but also wearing like a fisherman's coat over it, like a raincoat. Pipe in his mouth, helping himself stand upright, using a sort of gnarled staff of petrified wood. As we go to break, you see none other than old Madigan. We'll be right back, everyone. Give us about 5 minutes.
Oh no.
Oh my.
Oh no. powerful nemesis.
And I have a song for Old Matic. Hello, everyone. It might pick up, I'm just warning my players. But the door opens. Again, you know, helping himself up on this petrified wood. Walking stick, gnarled, twisted. The fisherman, dressed like an old, mixed between modern and old Celt, takes his pipe out of his mouth, says, "I've been expecting all of you."
Oh.
How do you know?
I saw you in that little craft. That little mortal ship that you took to get here. Did you know that this place is forbidden to mortals? Those that come can never leave. And you hear in the distance the cracking and the grinding of metal against stone.
Hey, you stop that. Can you, like, he has nothing to do with this.
Does he, though?
No.
He chose to bring you here. He did so because of your influence.
Right, but he didn't choose to come to this place specifically. He was just doing a job.
He was doing a job, or he was doing fate's bidding?
It was just a job.
Is what you think. When he puts the pipe back in his mouth. Well, his job cost him his life.
Can we see? Is like the ship actually down?
Kieran, as, you know, since you're fate bound to him,
Uh-huh.
you would feel it if the connection cut off. Like, for some reason, you know that something's happening, but you also know that he's not dead. Like, it's a strange sort of sixth sense, if you will.
I'd appreciate it if you left the poor craft alone.
I'd appreciate it if you turned around and go back from whence you came. Yet here you are. And I figure you want... And he points to the door. You want in.
Aye, we want in, but why don't we don't, there's no need to play hardball here. What if we just send the man home? Like, the mortal can just go back to whence he came. He won't bother you no more, and he don't have to die. How about that?
And then what?
And
He's
then
going to
we
tell everyone about the magic island that came out of nowhere?
I'm
Then
gonna believe him.
others will come here.
oh, like 9 people where he lives.
Aye. But have you heard of Facebook?
How have you heard of Facebook?
I keep with the times. What do you think I have to do here? Nothing.
Nothing but kill innocent ship captains, it sounds like.
Play around on social media, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been around Facebook enough. People talk all sorts of shit in there.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody takes anything seriously that's posted on Facebook no more.
No one of importance, anyways.
Besides, it's not going to be Facebook for much longer anyway.
I can't believe we're getting meta about meta.
God, I hate this.
Oh
Can we-
no!
Use the end card for that.
You're right. I'll add Zuckerberg to our document.
Oh no!
He puts his pipe back in his mouth and says, "Every time, in every age, someone stumbled upon this here place. And every time that I've left someone leave, more have come. It's my duty as the lighthouse keeper to keep people away from here."
Do not defeat the purpose of a lighthouse.
This light is not for the living, Mr. Kearney.
Hey, that's his dad's name.
It's, I mean, it's not even my dad's name.
It's a dad's name.
No, I can ill see who your lineage trace back to. I can feel the stench of the end of humanity about you.
About me? Or are you talking to all of us?
I think he's referring to you in your current cologne Ragnarok number 5.
Hey, you should really get rid of that Axe body spray. Not doing you any good.
No, he turns to Dee and Eddie and says, "Y'all come from way too far away to be standing here. And you, are you so eager to die and meet your maker, Finbar O'Dukda?"
I'm eager to get to find the source of the Eye of Balor in the sky and preserve life as we know it.
You won't find it here. This place is for the dead and the dead only.
Well, technically, we're not really looking for the Eye of Balor. We're here to restart the Wheel of Reincarnation.
I'm afraid you're too late for that. By a few centuries. The wheel has stopped dead. It's not going to start back up anytime soon.
Well, maybe it's time for us to hook up the jumper cables and get it back spinning again.
I would like to see you try, except I'm not allowed to let any one of you through.
On whose authority? Who are you, apart from the keeper of this lighthouse?
I'm the doorman. I'm the one who welcomes in the souls of the dead, and guide them to the afterlife that they require, that they deserve. He points
kind of like
motions to the ground, and you can hear suddenly all of the skeletons in the ground begin to wail and moan. And to put the undeserving back in their place.
And who gets to determine who is deserving or not? Is that something you get to decide, or is that decided by someone further up the food chain?
The rules were passed down to me by, I think you might call him your uncle. Simon needs to check the Scion handbook to make sure the family tree is right.
Yeah. As am I.
He will say that he'll name the person Dawn. His title is Lord of the Dead.
Oh. Oh, so you work for him? Or are you of his kin?
I am not a scion of divinity.
You hear that? It's not even a Scion. It's just a stooge.
I would take that back if I were you. I think between the two of us, you are the last one who should call anyone a stooge. Now be gone from this place before I do to you what you did to my ship. And he looks at Eddie.
It was a merciful act by a merciful Scion.
How do you know what happened to your ship wasn't just fate?
Because I, as opposed to the 5 of you, sorry, JD.
Don't apologize to him. He's fine.
I am not bound by fate.
So that means you have free will, then?
Yeah. He had free will to take better care of that ship. It was in pain.
How dare you insult my ship?
I talked to your ship.
There's a twitch in his eye.
And it would, I maybe saved you some trouble, because what happens over time when things like that become resentful? It would have turned on you in some way. So.
You speak lies.
No, she speaks truths.
Yeah. No, actually, she's probably the most honest one out of the 5 of us.
Leave me. Leave this place. And he grips the staff and like knocks it on the ground once, and you can hear the grinding of metal and stone, but like in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
You
No,
feel
you see-
in the back of you feel in the back of your head, Kieran, that O'Malley is less in danger all of a sudden. You were gonna say, Eddie?
No, I'm sorry, but we have a goal to. We have a goal to restart that wheel. Otherwise, things in the Isles are going to be a little bit worse for the wear. So, if you would just step aside and allow us to complete our mission, we'll be on our way.
And how many languages do I have to say no, Mr.
As many languages as it takes for you to finally say yes.
Well, then, if the tongues of humans don't work on you, and you don't want to understand, maybe the tongue of the dead will. And there's a flash of like bluish light from the tip of his staff, and you hear JD in back of you say like, hey, that's my pants, hey! And you turn around to see the dead have started to sort of unfuse from the stone, and they're like grabbing JD, like their two arms that are grabbing one of his legs and trying to pull him into the soil, but they are right now basically only pulling on the pants leg, and other undead have begun to rise.
So you're such a coward that you have to have other people do your work for you? Really? I'm highly unimpressed.
Just like your pa. And I'm gonna ask an initiative from all of you.
Cool. Uh-oh.
So that is
Gonna fight Willem Dafoe.
you're gonna fight Willem Dafoe. Let me just get the I think it's Dex plus another one. Initiative is the combat skill that your highest combat skill.
Oh, jeez.
Plus cunning.
Oh, boy.
I'd be probably
Yeah, that's about right.
close combat.
Right, he's got 2 successes, so he plays at 2. So it's going to be Kieran, Eddie, then him, and then Finbar and D. And between the two of you, you can always decide like who goes first. There are so the skeleton horde counts as one creature, if you will, for the purposes of the fight. So if you defeat it, it means that you've defeated like the entire horde, or you've done enough damage to it that there's not enough left to say that they're a threat to Scions like you.
Mm-hmm.
So Eddie and Kieran. Yes, Eddie and Kieran. What do you do?
Did you say that when he summoned the undead, his staff lit a flame?
There was like a what'd you call it? It's the light effect that is in every J.J. Abrams movie. A flare.
Lens flare?
Yeah, a lens flare from the top of his staff.
So not actually fire.
Nope.
Okay. Okay. In that case, I'll pull out my lighter and use it to light my arm on fire. And I'll try to grab for his wooden staff. It's probably going to be like a strength check or something.
It's going to be might plus close combat.
Okay.
And his defense is... His defense is... 3, so you need 3 successes. Yeah.
I don't even know if I have 3 dice.
If it's half.
That's just the one. Remember, your momentum pool is now at 4. But yeah, no, the moment you try to go for a staff, he moves it back and blows smoke from his pipe in your face. Just to, like, yeah. It should have burnt, but it doesn't, because it's you. Eddie.
So Eddie is going to swipe his arm across to basically get Kieran out of the way, and he's going to swing one end of his three sectional staff, one-handed, across to try to smack both the guy's staff and pipe right off.
Okay. If you want to disarm him, in any way, that is attacking, close combat. So it's 2 successes per item that you want to disarm him from, in addition to the 3 successes that you need to hit him. So if you roll 7 successes, it's completely successful. Otherwise, you decide which one you want to get rid of. This is, of course, might plus close combat, and any applicable, powers that you have.
Okay.
Oh God, yeah, I just saw the thing. So that's 4 successes.
God damn.
So while it is not enough to disarm him, it is enough to hit.
3 ones in there too. Once this
Oh
happened.
God.
But it's
My
enough
God.
to hit, which means that you could, if you decide, to inflict damage instead, you could knock him down. But those would be like your 2 options right now with what you rolled.
I want to knock him down.
All right. So we'll say you went to like hit the staff, and since he's like putting most of his weight on it, he didn't let it go, but because of that, he fell down to the ground. You hear the bang of his head against the stone. The wind is the air is taken out of his lungs. He is not happy. Oh, by the way, JD will always play last. Like, I'm not bothering with initiative. So the undead horde will begin to like crawl all over everyone. Try to grab you, try to claw at you. Essentially, I need to know what your stamina is, everyone.
4.
Or
4,
3.
3, and 2. Okay. So they have 5 dice. So if we'll see, the DC that they have is 4, 4, 3, and 2. None of them do any damage to any of you. However, they are crawling, a bit like what happened to JD earlier. Right now they're pulling your backpacks, they're pulling your clothes, they're pulling at your coat, or whatever they can find, purchase. None of them are hurting you. However, it means that if you try to move either away, you're fairly close to Madigan, so I'm not going to count that. But if you were to try to move away, it'll be a lot harder. Like, unless you have special purviews or stuff like that, you are, for all intents and purposes, immobilized where you are. Him. He's going to get back up. He doesn't like that. And because he doesn't have his whole turn, he will begin to... what is it? Yeah. He begins to, like, spin his staff. As it picks up, like, the wisps of smoke from his pipe turn into, like, this black cloud over his staff. And from within, you can see from time to time this, like, leering skull appear. It wants to break away from the cloud, but can't, as the spell is unfinished. it's now Finbar and Dee's turn.
All right. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go, D?
I can go first.
Okay.
So Dee just creeped out all these skeletons coming out of the ground. She is going to reach into her into the rice bag, just take a good fistful and just like throw it up in the air. She's like, I hope this works. And she'll just like throw it up in the air, kind of covering the immediate area with these rice. And I'm going to do that, impose terror of the guilty on this area.
Oh. It'll affect every skeleton, but not Madigan.
I mean,
unless you spend momentum and win a Clash of Will against them.
Oh.
It works automatically on this. So a Clash of Will is your like Terror of the Guilty roll, which is a skill and a stat, which I'm gonna pick up in a moment.
Okay.
And let you know, versus like his resistance, like his defense, if you will. It's an opposed roll that might not work. Like it's basically like a spellcasting check in D&D. So the Clash of Will is always your legend, plus an attribute, which would be an attribute of your choosing that you feel fits what you're trying to do. Like in this case, I doubt that might would work.
No.
But look at your stats. Let me know which one you want to use, which one you think works best. And he's going to use his absent legend. So he has, oh boy, I think he has like next to nothing.
I think I will choose presence, I think, for that. She's trying to put her will into this.
Okay. That works.
I'm going to just pick... I'm just going to pick a stat that has the same amount of legend for this, just to make it easier.
Oh, sorry, this is a... wait, Terror of the Guilty. Is it a boon or a knack?
Oh, it's a boon, I think.
That works. That works.
Okay.
It's just, if it's a boon, it uses a stat. If it's a knack, it uses a skill. That's all.
It's from the... Yeah, it doesn't say it's a knack. I think it just says it's a... Is it a boon? It just doesn't say on there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Terror of the Guilty, page 229. Terror of the Guilty is a knack. So it is a judge knack. So instead of a stat, you're going to choose a skill which you think applies.
Oh, okay. Stat and skill. Okay. You know what? This feels occult, I think.
That works.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, he's okay. Legend plus attribute. It's not going to be a lot, but all right.
Okay.
So you roll and I roll.
Okay. My God.
Oh my goodness.
So you needed to spend 1 momentum to activate.
Yeah.
There's still 3 momentum in the pool if you want to. Because he has 1 success.
Mind if I spend 2?
Go for it.
Okay. 2d10, come on.
I'm thinking the quicker we strike him
God
down,
damn
the
it.
better.
So you will regain 1 point of momentum.
Okay.
So you'll be at 2. But yeah, he, despite everything, the rice falls down, and when it falls on him, you can see his face begin to contort and twist into like a frightened expression.
Okay.
But then there is a malicious twinkle in his eye that appears, like a little bluish light. And then he automatically calms down.
Okay.
The skeletons,
Okay, yeah, the skeleton. This that was a bonus. I'm more.
Have-
This was more for the skeletons.
they have stopped grappling you,
Hmm.
and they are throwing themselves off the island. They are panicking. Some are trying to go inside the lighthouse. And Madigan casting the spell, like he can't really do anything, but you can hear him shout out like, "No, you're not supposed to go in there. No, that's not how it works." The soil of the island begins
Yeah.
to drop because that's just how many bones there were.
Oh, this is like. I mean, this is the intended. Her intended effect was to get rid of.
Yeah, it's just
This is a little bit. This is a little bit more unnerving than I think she was initially thinking how
Well,
this would
it's
go.
good. You are protected.
It's good. It's
but
good.
The island is also sinking a bit.
Yeah, that seeing like a bunch of like flailing and like terrified skeletons is still, and the still sinking is still a little bit. Yeah.
So what's fun about skeletons is that they don't make any sound.
Oh, they make. Oh, they make like. They make bone noises though.
But their bones aren't connected by anything. They're just held by magic.
Yeah.
No
Some
sinew
of
there
them,
to hold them
because
together.
The way Terror of the Guilty works is that either
Yeah.
you flee in fear or you begin to cry. And
I honestly think
admit your wrongdoings.
silent, like, beg, like, pleading is still unnerving.
It is very.
Incredibly so. the motions are there.
Finbar.
All right. Now, is this just a completely wooden staff, or is there like some sort of
Complete wood.
special knob at the
It's
end or anything?
no. It's not a wizard staff. It doesn't have a knob on the end.
Okay.
It's just imagine a staff, and around the second third of it, near the top, there's like a giant knot in it, if you will, and
Yeah.
then it's just twisted
Mm-hmm.
the staff,
Okay,
and then the rest of the branch is like just crooked.
Okay.
Otherwise,
So-
it would
okay.
have been a straight piece of wood, like Eddie's three-piece staff.
Okay. So he's spinning it around like a whirling dervish, trying to get his spell going, right?
Yeah, sort of, just a little.
Spinning it around it. Okay. I'm gonna pull old Lou out of my sling. I'm gonna take a swing and try to hit the staff as it's going to try to interrupt him casting whatever spell he's trying to do.
All right. We'll count this as a disarm, so you will need a total of 5 successes.
Okay.
And there are now 2 points of momentum in the pool if you want to.
All
use
right.
them.
So, and I'm rolling might
Might
in close combat.
Yeah.
Right. And I've only got 4 total on those. Let's see. Does my epic strength come into play here? +1 scale for purpose of breaking,
the
lifting.
shillelagh also gives you a +1 to close combat roll.
Yeah, so, okay, so we're going to be rolling 5, so I got to hit all 5. Okay, it's worth a shot here. Really see how close I can get to interrupting him here.
Oh, hey.
That is 1, 2 successes, and you get to reroll your 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 successes. You cannot, with 3 successes, unless you spend momentum and manage to raise up to 5, you would not, just like with Eddie earlier, you would not be able to break his staff. You might be able to hurt him, though.
Okay, I'll go for the hurt thing, going since he's distracted with the body, with the dead souls trying to get in anyway. Anything I can do to interrupt whatever spell he's trying to cast is what I'm going for.
All right.
That's probably good.
So injuring him will probably serve as a distraction.
Yeah. You essentially, instead of hitting on the staff, as he was spinning it, again, he tried to move it out of the way.
Right.
You ended up hitting him on the forearm.
That's good. That was going to be plan B.
And he yelps in pain. You see the the cloud begins to part, and then with force begins the effort, I should say, begins to fuse back together. He's trying to hold on to this magic, but it's hard. That brings us back around to Eddie and Kieran.
Eddie, did you have an idea for what you wanted to do? Because if not...
No, go right ahead.
All right. I'm going to light this man on fire.
Yeah.
All right. How do you do that?
I use fireball. I assume it's a lot easier to hit a target with that than trying to grab his staff particularly. I'm just aiming for the whole man.
All right. So it's aggravated, ranged. You need to imbue one legend for the scene. So,
Okay, sure thing.
So long as that legend is imbued, you can throw fireballs left and right. Athletics plus Dex, and I need to check the tags. That is fine. It's not what I'm looking for. Okay, there we go. Pushing. Oh, you can choose to knock them prone because of the explosion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Or not.
No, we are not. Roll 20 is not.
Roll 20 is not your friend.
No.
Actually, no successes and a 1.
Oh, God.
Botch.
Oh, no.
Good.
What does
Excellent.
that mean?
So does that mean we get extra momentum points in the pool?
Yes, you will get extra momentum. You'll get 2 points of momentum instead of 1. But
Get him, guys.
what's going to happen is as you create that fireball, you throw it, him with a wave of his hand deflects it back onto you. It
good.
shatters harmlessly on you, but then you realize your hands that were on fire a moment ago just are no longer ablaze. That legend you imbued is now gone, as if you had spent them.
Oh, shite.
He basically, counterspelled you.
Uh-huh.
What the?
He's still casting. He's about to be done, and it's Eddie's turn.
So Eddie is going
You're at
to
4 momentum now.
Eddie is going to basically do a handspring over Kieran and twist in the air. And as he's doing so, his 3-sectional staff is going to lash out and basically strike as hard as he can right at Madigan.
Okay. Do the hurt.
He's hurt him.
Which, your rule of 3, bashing brutal. Okay, that's what I thought. It's got a few things that I had forgotten. Brutal. Okay, so you crit with 3 successes instead of 4. Is it 3 instead of 4? Anyway, you crit more easily with it. Yeah, 3 instead of 4.
Okay. Might close combat, and I'm gonna use 2 momentum for this.
Yeah, I was gonna say use
Out of the 4.
throw some
Alright.
momentum.
Yeah.
Damn.
That is 5 successes.
Hell yes. Look
Ouch.
at that. No.
Ouch. Okay.
Ooh, boy.
His defense was
Ooh.
3.
Ah.
Oh, that is 6 successes.
6.
So his defense was 3. You have 3 additional successes.
Get him.
That's
Get
just enough to crit with your staff if you wanted.
Do I want to crit with the staff, or do I want to break his weapon?
With 3 successes, 3 additional successes, you could sunder the weapon.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sunder his staff.
Yeah.
It's a good first
We're gonna
outing
build
for
the,
this.
We'll build the legend of the rule of 3.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
He tried to move out of the way, realizing that you were hitting him with a staff. He never expected the staff to actually be malleable. And so raised the staff up to protect himself. But in the end, you hit the staff almost right on his hand. It breaks in half. He begins to scream, "No! No!" as like this the cloud that was forming at the top comes out of the broken pieces of the staff like fume out of an exhaust pipe, and it sort of wraps around him as he shouts one last thing before he disappears into the void. "I thought staffs weren't malleable!" And when the smoke dissipates, the only thing that's left on the ground is his pipe.
I go ahead and pick it up. I want to take a closer look at it.
It's a reed pipe, I believe is the... No. Yeah. Made of the same thing that you do basket weaving with. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be reed or something. Anyway, it looks fragile. You can feel the magic in it, Finbar. You can also feel that the magic is fading away. I think you can identify, like, you automatically know, like, magical phenomena by looking at them or something.
Yeah.
So, what this does, essentially this was his focus to the divine. You know, you have birthrights. Objects that were given to you by your divine parents and everything.
Like my bard's tale.
Like your bard's tale. His pipe is similar to that, but it would be more akin to Eddie's staff. It's a birthright that was made not by a god, but either by himself or by a Scion. So it's not tied to the legend of a particular divinity, but because of it's tied to divinity, he was able to call upon powers that normally, a human would not be able to. Imagine in D&D term, this served as both an arcane focus and a spell book. Because believe it or not, he had access to every divine power in the book.
That's not great.
I can just pick and choose.
It's not great.
So,
And he had 10 dice if he succeeded on his spell.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
so do we keep this or do I destroy it?
I mean, to you, I'll just let you know, mechanically, it's not going to do anything.
Okay.
All of your birthrights are a lot stronger than this. You can keep it as a souvenir. You can keep it as a trophy. But there's not enough juice in it for you to do anything. Your own person is already more powerful than this.
So what I'll basically do is I'll turn it upside down and make the motion as if I'm tapping the old tobacco out of it.
Oh, it falls down.
And then I'll just stick it in a pocket for now. So that way all that's out and I don't burn myself in the process.
You have Willem Dafoe's pipe.
So does it still work, or is it something that only he could operate?
Technically, anyone who is a worshipper of Dawn, who wants to learn how to do magic, would need to smoke of that pipe, and over time would become a mage as they smoke.
Okay.
But it's really specific. Like, I mean, he's not the only person in the world that can use it, but he's one of the handful of people that can.
Okay.
Since it's linked to the Lord of the Dead of the Celtic pantheon, who knows? It could come as a bargaining tool for us.
The door of the lighthouse is open. The inside is cold. On the first floor, there's a cot with a few like blankets. There's a mini fridge. And on top of the mini fridge is an old CRT monitor, beige and heavy. And there's a computer tower, equally beige and heavy, on the floor next to it, that also acts as the heating unit for this lighthouse.
Does it look like an old IBM XT?
Yeah. Yeah. It still has
Yes,
a
I'm that old.
floppy disk reader.
Ugh.
Not the hard diskets, like the 3.5,
Yeah.
but like the old,
5 1/4.
That's
The
worse.
5 1/4
That's
floppy,
worse.
right?
the black ones, yeah.
5 1/4, yeah. Remember those well.
Yeah.
It's the resolution on it is like 600 by 420 or
If-
something like that.
If
Yeah,
that,
something like that, yeah.
And it is like it's on his Facebook page. He is currently playing Farmville.
Serpent.
Oh, the only person. Oh.
He has all the time in the world. That's what it is. By the way, he has, if you look quickly, he has no friends.
That's not.
No followers?
None.
Just for grins and giggles, I'll look to see if he's got the location turned on it.
No, he
Showing
doesn't.
where he's located. Of course it's not.
No, and in
Eh,
fact,
we-
here's the weird thing. There are no power cables. There's no Ethernet
mean, that's-
cable.
hmm
Like, I mean, where would you want the power to come from? It's a sunken island.
It doesn't have like a It doesn't have like. There's
Not
no
even a
line to
parallel.
stick it in.
Not even a parallel cord to a printer.
Not even. No, he doesn't have a printer. And then you have this metal staircase that goes up. All along the staircase, on the railing, are carved Celtic symbols. It's nothing magical. It's just very pretty, and probably
Just
carved
ornate, it's-
by
it's not-
Madigan over the years.
It's not any code or anything. It's just ornate.
No, it's just it's just ornate stuff. He probably
That's
either got bored at some point and decided to do that, or he did it out of reverence for his job or his patron.
Ugh.
As you walk up the stairs, you end up on the catwalk outside. There's that little door, glass door that you can open that leads to the giant. It's not one light bulb. It's like a bunch of light bulbs. You can open the little latch. You open the door. And you realize that inside, yes, it looks like a bunch of light bulbs around, a cylinder. But once you open it to try to change them, all that you see inside is this faint, glowing, sort of translucent orb that floats like a mote of light. It's very faint. It is definitely, actually, it's not even magical, it's a step above. This is divine. And as Eddie, knows where the gateways and everything are, this is your doorknob.
We found what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, in for a penny, in for the pound, I'd reach for the doorknob to open the door.
Your hand just goes through. Harmlessly, by the way.
hmm
It seems like it's, if we keep the doorknob analogy, it's loose. It's like it doesn't, if you can turn the knob, but it will not turn any mechanism. I can let all four of you, because you are at this point in your legendary lives, you could roll either intellect plus occult or intellect plus legend.
All right. Nicole did.
I will go with Colt.
Kieran turns into Jon
Dear
Snow.
God! Oh my God!
Whoa.
You suddenly understand how life in the universe works.
Yeah, let's. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna roll those 4 extra dice. Oh, jeez. Okay, just those 6, just the 6.
That's enough. That's enough.
Just the 6.
So
Oh.
R and Lynn and D will understand a couple things, and D, I'll give you an additional thing. This doorknob is powered by your very own legend, or I should say, by legend in general. The stronger the legend of an individual is, the easier it'll be to turn the knob. Basically, what the theory that you have is, it's sort of a safeguard so that Madigan, him being not a Scion, would not be able to go in. He guards the door. He cannot go past it. He cannot go inside. He cannot go through. He can let people through, but that's it. He can just show them the thing. You get the feeling that, translucent, your hand goes through and everything. It reminds you of the ghosts that you saw, so they can probably interact with it. Now, with your 6 successes, I will give you the mechanical amount that you need. In order to turn the knob, you need anyone who's standing atop the lighthouse, so long as you're on the catwalk around, which can fit about 8 people, maybe. You need to imbue this doorknob with 24 points of legend.
Cool. Well, we found the doorknob, but I don't think we have anywhere enough of the essence to open it right now. She's trying to kind of put her hand through it. It's like, I can feel it a tiny bit, but we're gonna have to either be higher up or have a lot more of us. A lot more.
A lot more as in an army, a lot more as in 3 or 4 added to our number.
A lot more. Somewhere in between.
Because we are pressed for time today, I'll end the session here by telling you something out of game. Yeah, this is the place that I thought you would reach in a couple more points of legend. But what's fun is that I figured, a couple weeks ago that you were going to try. I wasn't sure. I was like, I'm going to try to, Yoshi other stuff. But I fixed it with our guest. And that guest will not be able to open the door for you, but will be able to give you a clue as to how you can gather that much legend, how you can farm it. Now, if you want to do what they're going to suggest, is up to you, because I know that some of you in game might not agree. But we're going to see that next week, everyone. Thanks for coming. Hey, by the way, you get extra XP today because not only did you find the Hybrasil, but also you spent half the momentum pool in one shot. So we'll do that once we're off camera. But let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you. I'll start with Hannah because I know you have to run. So shout out where you are, if you have any projects going on, etc., etc.
Okay.
And then you can go and I'll fix the cams.
Cool. I'm Hannah. You can find me on Twitter at Hanimation Art or Facebook and Instagram at Hanimation Studios. My brain is gone. Anyways, you can find me back here next Thursday for Sentinels of the Multiverse at 8:30 p.m. EST, and then on Saturday again for Scion. So lots of fun. Oh, and Sunday for this Sunday for a charity Halloween thing.
Tomorrow night.
Anyways, yes. Thank you so much for having me, Simon. And this was a lot of fun. All right.
Ciao. All right, I'll just fix the camera very quickly. That should work. There we go. D's not in the right place. There we go. So, Anino, where can we find you? What do you have going on?
Hey everyone, my name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino4K. Let's say tomorrow you can find me on the Weave the Tale channel at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for Mutants and Masterminds. And then over back on this channel again next week on Thursdays for more of Sentinels of the Multiverse. That's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And, you've seen the links in chat. We're still raising money for races. Probably close that up sometime early next week. So, if you are so inclined, please donate. We have a bunch of other giveaways to hand out, particularly tomorrow during Simon's events. So tune in for that.
On the next row, Lynn, where can we find you?
Hey, I'm Lynn, Flying Cirrus on Twitter, Twitch, and stuff like that, where you can find my art and what I'm doing throughout the week. And you'll see me next on Wednesday for our for Spy Game, Hexcrawler Spy Game campaign on Black Cats, where we're in London and we have to find some shitty counter spies. It should be fun. There's probably gonna be a lot of destruction knowing us, so check us out there.
And lastly, Hawkeye, where can we find you?
All right, I'm Hawkeye, our Kentucky Hawkeye. You can find me in that on all any of the social medias that I go through. Basically, most probably things like Twitter and on Twitch and stuff like that. You can catch myself on my channel Monday nights. My daughter and I do a stream that we're calling Family Night at the Emporium. We're currently going through a mystery series based off of the Agatha Christie murder novel, The ABC Murders. We're working on that right now. Wednesday nights is going to become my weekly Skyrim serial, where we're going through the random legacy of Zarzur Tenteroth, a ancient Falmer or snow elf who, as long as it doesn't affect the roleplay I'm doing, everything he responds to is based off of a D12 dice roll. So just to make things fun and interesting. And then catch me here Saturdays for Scion, and hopefully very soon get things back going with Grappler's Keep, my WWE 2K20 universe, where various DMs, GMs, and RPG players from across the Twitch universe compete in a wrestling ring we lovingly call the Dice Trade, getting ready for our next pay-per-view event. Trying to get it set up so I can have every wrestler showcased in that, and then hopefully get back into the weekly streaming of that here very soon as well. So otherwise, you'll catch me Cancer Cleric by day, RPG Fanboy by night.
And I am, wow, why am I hesitating? I'm Simon at OneRDM. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. As you might have seen, we are in the process of rebranding. So the name of the channel changed. We are now the Wandering Society. You'll learn all about it next week. This weekend is basically the soft launch of everything, because God, is there a lot of things to do. But keep an eye out for that. There's going to be a ton of cool announcements. As I've mentioned earlier, there is the Horror Twofer tomorrow afternoon. We start at noon. We're going to sit down and talk with Chris Spivey, the creator, the lead designer, and basically also founder of Darker Hue Studio, the studio that produced Haunted West, the historical American frontier RPG that we're going to play right after the interview. And then later during the day, we are going to sit down and play They Came From Beneath the Sea, a B-movie horror RPG set in the 1950s. We are also going to have a bunch of giveaways from Die Hard Dice, from Darker Hue Studios. We're going to give away the PDFs, basically, of the games that we're going to be playing on stream. And all the money, all the donations, all of that is going to go towards Races, the charity of choice that Enino chose for his birth month. So check that out. The link is, again, in chat right now. And we'll see if we can bust the goal tomorrow night. So on that note, you can find me tomorrow here, and then next Thursday for Sentinels of the Multiverse. Witcher on Praxagora Thesmophoria is taking a break because we're going to be switching to Sundays. But first, next Sunday, so not tomorrow but the one after, is the finale of our second season of Blue Rose, as we're finally going to fight Hot Vampire Lady, and then, I say fight, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. And then after that, we're going to be playing Witcher on Sundays instead, because something might just happen here on Wednesdays. Stay tuned, everyone, and have a good weekend, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.